Welcome to Citcomm, a game to understand the different outcomes that can take place when it comes to democracy. Citcomm is a place that has no leader, but needs one. The players become the politicians that are given different scenarios and must respond to what they think would be best for the country. The aim of the game is to win as many scenario cards as possible out of the 7 zones on the board. The player with the highest amount of scenario cards wins. Each response card is either labeled left, right, or neutral for their place on the political spectrum, for their learning purposes for the different ideologies seen within society. The scenario cards are cards that are placed in every zone. These are yellow and contain the scenario in which you must solve. First, set up 7 random scenario cards across the allocated spaces on the board, one for each zone on the map. Then shuffle the deck of response cards and draw 7 cards for every player in the game. The person who is first to apply to vote in real life goes first. If there's a person who hasn't voted yet, they may only have 6 cards instead, so make sure you have signed up to vote to have an equal chance at winning the game. The game starts with Zone 1 opened by unflipping the first card and reading the scenario. Players fight over the zones in order to win their spot as a leader of the country by winning the highest amount of zone cards as possible. All players must then place down the most suitable card they think would best solve the scenario. There can only be 3 cards placed for each scenario at a time, so be quick. The player who doesn't put down a card becomes the delegator who decides which card would best suit the scenario. And if one or more players chooses not to put down a card, the person who voted before the other makes the decision. Don't worry too much about the numbers on the cards, as they are there to guide you on putting down the best possible card to win the scenario. After a decision has been made on the winner, give the scenario card to the winning card owner and place the cards with the winning card on top of the zone it was won on in place of the scenario card. And then everyone draws to pick up a card to make sure that you only have 7 in hand, or 6 if you haven't voted yet. Then Zone 2 opens up and now players repeat the same process of unflipping the scenario card as players race to place their own card down before others, remembering that the last person becomes the delegate, who decides which card wins. This continues until every zone, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are unflipped, and each of its respective scenario cards won by the end of the game. The game ends when all scenario cards are won, and the player with the highest amount wins, and becomes the leader of the land of Citcomm. But if there are 2 people with the same amount of scenario cards won at the end, it comes to a tiebreaker where another scenario card is placed and the 2 with the highest amount of scenario cards won must fight to win over the card as the final 8th zone. The player who was first to vote out of the players not included in the final 8th zone becomes the person who decides the victor of the card at the end. And so with the winning card chosen, the player whose card wins becomes the leader and winner of the game. And so we hope you enjoy our game of Citcomm and that you treat the people of Citcomm well. Good luck and have fun!